All right, so this review feels personal. Today we're reviewing a watch that honestly feels like it's coming home. It's the Tudor Pelagos LHD. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you know my history runs deep with the Tudor Pelagos lineup. I spent a full year wearing the original Pelagos titanium case, 500-meter water resistance, arguably one of the best modern dive watches ever made. Then I bought the Tudor Pelagos FXD, a watch designed with input from the French Navy, more specialized, but undeniably cool. I then spent a solid year wearing the Pelagos 39. Loved that watch and miss it sometimes. And until a few months ago, I owned and wore the Pelagos FXD Chrono, a bit different aesthetic, but still charmingly oriented towards being purpose-built. So yeah, you could say I'm familiar with the Tudor Pelagos family. Now recently I convinced myself I could satisfy that titanium dive watch itch with the San Martin homage piece. It's nice, and you can use the word homage very lightly here, but it's nice. You know, don't get me wrong, it's a great quality for $200, but after picking up this Pelagos LHD for review, it brought back all those Pelagos memories. And this has me reconsidering if I need to have one back in the collection. Sorry for the quick interruption. Most of you guys watching this video are not subscribed, and I don't blame you. Most people don't look at their subscriber feeds, but please hit that subscribe button for me. It helps let other brands know that people do watch these videos. It'll help give me access to watches just like the one I'm reviewing here in this video. So please do me that favor if you can. Thank you guys. So for the details, first, let's talk about the LHD itself. It's essentially a Pelagos with some quirky twists. LHD stands for left-hand drive, referring to the left side crown placement. It's designed for lefties, but worn comfortably by everyone, myself included. And surprisingly, it's quite pleasant. Operating the crown is a bit weird with the wrong hand if you're right-handed, but it stays completely out of the way, so no more crown digging into the back of your hand. The design is still pure Pelagos, toolish, titanium built, matte finished. It wears incredibly light, yet sturdy on the wrist. There's something special, I think, about Tudor's grade 2 titanium. It's robust, it's lightweight, it exudes quiet toughness. And that, I think, is difficult to replicate. Now, compared to my stopgap homage, the genuine Tudor here, the case feels refined, precise, and purposeful. Now let's talk about the dial. Tudor here opted for a creamy, faux-aged lume on the indices and hands, which initially might seem odd on such a modern tool watch, but in person it gives a sort of feeling, a slightly warm hue that gives the Pelagos LHD a vintage charm without compromising legibility or functionality. And in low light, it's still phenomenal. The lume is generous, consistent, and intensely bright. The dial itself is clean, with minimal text and clear markers. The signature on this is the Pelagos date window with the roulette wheel, rotating black and red numbering, which is a playful touch, I think, that nods to vintage dive watch aesthetics. These subtle details elevate the Pelagos LHD from merely a good-looking watch, I think, to genuinely great. Now, wearing this watch, again, after trying on all these other Pelagos models, I'm reminded of exactly why I fell in love with the original Pelagos itself and the line in general. It's the perfect blend of ruggedness, comfort, and practical luxury. The adjustable titanium bracelet clasp here is arguably still one of the best, if not the best, in the business. It makes the wear supremely comfortable here with this spring adjustment at the end, so that you get something that's always fitting perfectly and a little bit snug. Now, if you haven't experienced it, trust me, it's kind of a game changer in many ways. Even after extended periods, whether underwater or sitting at the desk, because I haven't worn this underwater yet, it sits comfortably, it feels light, it's more balanced than its robust, thick appearance might suggest. It definitely should be something you try on. Now, one of the standout advantages of the Pelagos LHD right now is the second-hand market. Prices for this watch have stabilized to a genuinely appealing level, making it a fantastic value proposition for substantially less than retail. You're getting an incredibly robust titanium diver with genuine heritage, quality craftsmanship, and some real character. Now, if you want to buy it, obviously at retail, it's still a fantastic watch and readily available, which is hard to say about its sister company. Now, I do want to quickly address my current wrist filler here. This is the San Martin homage. I have a video on this. I have it linked down below and up above. Honestly, it's a fantastic piece for something that scratches the Pelagos itch. Solid, decent specs, impressive lume, But when you handle the genuine Tudor again, you instantly realize what you've been missing. The LHD here especially feels special. It carries Tudor's legacy, thoughtful design, premium material choices, and an attention to detail that you just can't replicate in homage. For example, the clasp on my San Martin has already lost the medallion that said the company's name. It also has several other small problems. I've also heard of the lume markers popping out in this, but this is $200. Let's keep that in mind. So it's a great filler, and for many people, it could be the only watch that they need within this space. But when you start holding these again, you feel the heft of the original Pelagos size, the 500-meter diver. It's just hard to deny how amazing a watch like this looks on the wrist. Now, shout out to Ethan and the team at Exquisite Timepieces for sending this in for review. No money or favors are exchanging hands. They're just kind enough to let me review these watches without me having to go buy them, and I always appreciate it. So if you're gonna buy a watch, check them out online. So let's talk about the major pros for the LHD. Now, first off, I think this left side crown here is quirky and incredibly comfortable. Now, second, the titanium construction is still one of the best comfortable, durable materials that you could use. Third, the brilliant lume, the dial execution, the different sort of contrasting colors here. I think the lume combined with this roulette wheel and the splashes of orange and Pelagos are these fantastic additions. Another one has to be the overall size and presence. That's a personal preference choice, but when you're looking for a big beefy diver without it being this big tank on your wrist, this does both. Aesthetically, it's large and it takes up a lot of space, but it doesn't feel like a boat anchor tied to your wrist. And then lastly, we'll talk about the bracelet. As I said before, the ability to adjust this, the ease that it works, the spring-loaded section here in the back, along with the diver extension, it's amazing. It's just one of the best bracelets I've ever worn. Even the function of unlocking it and locking it closed with this snap closure, the ceramic bearings that they have in here, Tudor's bracelets are some of the best. Now let's talk downsides. It is thick, not as sleek as the newer Pelagos 39, and for some wrists, that extra heft might feel unnecessary. Now, while I enjoy the roulette date wheel, I understand it might not be everyone's cup of tea, and the same kind of goes for the lume on here as well. It's just not everyone's choice, and that could be a downside for many people. If that is a downside to you, certainly the standard Pelagos 42 is available for you to fill that void of a modern, clean, no-nonsense diver. Operating the crown is very, very awkward with my left hand. I have often turned it upside down just so I can operate it with my right hand again to set the time. Aesthetically, it does look weird sometimes on the wrist. Me looking down and seeing the crown going the opposite way, it looks like I have the watch upside down, but these are minor points. In the grand scheme of things, again, Tudor has a fantastic value for the watch that they're offering, and this one, especially over the last few years, has become the sort of standout, I think, in the Pelagos line for its great aesthetics, fantastic bezel action, good bracelet, and decent value. It's also a little more unique than, the standard Pelagos. And more than that, it's genuinely enjoyable to wear every day. Is it perfect? No watch ever is. But at the current secondhand price, and with its quirks and charms, the Tudor Pelagos LHD remains an extraordinary value. It effortlessly blends functionality, craftsmanship, and unique design touches into a package that few others can match. Honestly, after this revisit, I'm starting to wonder if the San Martin stopgap is going to be able to hold me much longer. I've been looking at Pelagos models and this model on eBay recently. So these Pelagoses do have a certain intangible quality that makes it difficult to resist. So anyway, that's my journey back to the Pelagos world. Tell me, what's your take on the LHD? Have you tried one? Are you tempted by the secondhand market? Drop your thoughts down below, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.